The 80s guys, 80s and 90s video world. Boom, 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 boom. Episode 5, the Great Galaga Gala. So good. Kids and adults, grab some of that A&W root beer. So good. Yum, yum, yum. Wait a second, the camera's on. I didn't know I was being filmed. Oh man. I was originally going to edit that part out, but this series is about great entertainment. So if watching me eat Papa John's pizza and drinking A&W root beer is great entertainment for you, then I will keep on doing it. And with all that being said, I am the one, the only Ty the 80s guy, and welcome to episode 5 of Ty the 80s guy's 80s and 90s video world. Kids, it's greatly bad manners to smack your food and gulp your drink loudly, just like I did before. So don't do it, because eventually your parents will get really annoyed and they could ground you and you could lose your Nintendo and Xbox and PlayStation privileges. So don't do it. Man, I'm getting really thirsty from eating all that pizza. Whoops, I did it again. No, I'm definitely not singing Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again. Tonight is going to be one of our greatest Friday night parties yet. And it is all about one of the greatest games of all time. And that is Galaga. It's the Great Galaga Gala. If you haven't already noticed, I'm going for a more dimly lit atmosphere for tonight's party, or tonight's party. And because I'm trying to capture the 1980s arcade feel, because back in the day, the only lights really were the light from the marquees, which are the signs atop the arcade machines, and the lit up control panel. You know, sometimes they had lights that blinked and stuff that was illuminated, and of course the lit up coin slots, you know. So there you go. Oh, and I wanted to interrupt for just a little bit. From now on, I'm going to be a lot stricter on my time. You won't be getting any more super tuper sized episodes from me for a while, and I think that it'll work a lot better this way. I will be giving you extra information in messages that will appear on the screen, just like I did in the super tuper sized episodes. You will get that in these episodes now too, so I can tell you everything that I want to. So anyway, here at Ty the 80s guys Great 80s and 90s Museum, we have all sorts of things going on. You can play Galaga on a variety of systems, ranging from the Nintendo Entertainment System and Nintendo 64 to the Wii, Wii U, Game Boy. I'm talking about the old green screen gray brick one, to the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy Advance. So you can play it on all those systems. We've also got huge cakes with the classic bright green and dark green Galaga logo, and we also got pizzas from Papa John's, and of course Giovanni's Pizza with the logo in green peppers. Yes, that is one of the coolest things we've got here. And we also have little cupcakes with the different aliens from the game, like the bee and the butterfly, scorpion, and the dragonfly, you know, all that stuff. I am wearing a Galaga shirt. It says, for a good time, insert coin, and it says Galaga on there. So, get you a nice up close view of it there. So, we've got that, and I got my 30th anniversary Galaga lanyard on there. You can see the logo there, and the butterfly, and the Boss Galaga, the blue one right there. You see the fighter ship there on the other side, the white, the red, other side here, and just different things on there. And so many of us are dressed in Galaga gear. It's awesome. It's going to be rapid fire like the rapid fire blaster head from the 1984 Galaga sequel, Gapless! Yes, I just mentioned Gapless during a Galaga show, and it is an awesome game. So, let's get on with it. And oh yeah, I cannot forget that we have very special guests joining us later on video phone. Huey, Lewis, and the news are back! It was about 1987 when my dad took me to the Lenore Mall and into the arcade. It was then that I saw Galaga, and it didn't take me long to fall in love with it. And it had that beautiful logo, light green and darker green, all those bright colors on the screen, the pretty falling stars in the background, and all those brightly colored enemies, and the really cool artwork on the side of the machine of the blue-backed Boss Galaga kind of zooming at you, you know, the picture on the side of the arcade machine. And I thought the machine was actually called Gauntlet. I must have heard the name at one time and thought that Galaga was Gauntlet. So there you go. I've got some classic arcade marquees from the front of the Magic Dock fridge, which is covered in them. This is the classic beautiful Galaga logo I was telling you about, you know, with that bright green and the darker green underneath it, the cool border with the white in the background, and the shot fired on the A there. See it right there? It's like sort of a shooting star there. Midway on there, and it says a Bally Company down there on the right. Classic 1981 arcade game. We're going to move on to this next one here. This is actually a screenshot magnet from the game. And this is stage 1. Okay, you have, you have the fighter ship right there. Let me move it in there close so you can see it. And right there is the Boss Galaga. He's been shot once, so now he's blue, and he sent down a tractor beam there to try to capture you. And when you get trapped in there, and then you shoot him down, when he flies down again, then you get a second ship, and you get to be the dual fighter. You know, 2 ships combined. Bees up there are known as Zakos or Zakos, is the Japanese word for bee. And then you have the butterflies up there. They are red, and those are called Goei or Goei, G-O-E-I. And then up there you see a Galaga that's not been shot. And of course you got the score up there and the 1 up for 1 player on the other side. And right down here at the very bottom is a merit badge. The further along that you get in the game, you get merit badges. So you can't really see it very well, but that's the very first merit badge you get. So there you go. I know it's really hard to see the things on the screenshot magnet, so I have this Galaga pin collection to help you out. There is the fighter ship. See it there with the red rockets and the little red arrow where the cockpit is? The Zako or Zako, which is the bee with the blue wings and the red and yellow striped body with the red and yellow eyes and the little pointed snout. Of course you see the little stars are in the background of every pin. Goei or Goei, and it's got the red wings with the blue stripes and the red eyes with the blue antenna. So And then we have the boss Galaga when he's not shot. Got those red eyes and that yellow belly and those red spots on his legs. And we got a boss Galaga when it's shot. Of course it turns blue. And then its spots are pink in this one. And you guys the star background. He's just trying to escape before I shoot it. And last but not least, we have just the classic Galaga logo on a white pen. You're really not going to be able to see this one very well, but you know, there you go. It's just a simple Galaga logo. And if you've noticed, this logo here, like on the screenshot magnet, has sort of a Saturn's ring on it that connects from the A to the top of the G. Very cool. So, there you go. There is the Galaga pen collection, and I hope that you're able to see a much better view of the creatures and the ship from the magnet. There is the little intro tune whenever you reach a challenging stage in Galaga, and that is where formations of aliens, there's 40, appear on screen, and they don't attack you. They'll swoop down, they don't drop bombs on you, and you have to shoot them all. And when you do, you get a 10,000 point bonus. Let's go on with the next segment. It's the great 80s and 90s contest! This is the third time I've tried to do this contest. You'll still be getting new Huey Lewis and the News Greatest Hits CD, new Level 42 Level Best CD, and a slightly used prize. Namco Museum Virtual Arcade for Xbox 360. And you'll get Galaga, of course, Galaga Legions, Pac-Man Championship Edition, Dig Dug, Mr. Driller Online, Pole Position, Miss Pac-Man, Rally X, and a lot more. There are over 30 Namco games on this collection. And in order to win this TY-RIPLE, or triple, prize pack, all you have to do is, look at the hashtag up here, and hashtag TYD 80s 90s, and then include a picture of you doing something awesome that is 80s or 90s related. No, you do not have to show your face. You can put a bag over your head, or you can wear a mask. Just be creative with what activity from the 80s or 90s that you're doing. So, that being said, you have about a week to enter. So, send it to me with that hashtag. The most creative photo will win, and I will announce the winner in the next episode. But you won't just be congratulated, you will also be featured in that episode in a creative way. So I hope that the TY-RIPLE prize pack and being included in the next episode will be enough incentive for you to enter. We're going to be moving on to the next segment. Magic Doc! Magic Doc! Great Scott! It's a Magic Doc! Magic Doc Ty-Talki. I will be featuring 3 items from the Magic Doc fridge. The first is this smaller bag of Cool Ranch Doritos from 1992. This first Magic Doc item is dedicated to my late great mom, Penny Ann Nix. Back in the early 90s, when I would go to Redwood Park Pool, which was in Hudson, North Carolina, where my mom lived, I would go and swim pretty much all day. There were times where it would be Adult Swim, and the kids were told to get out of the pool. That was the adults' time away from the kids, so they could relax and enjoy swimming in peace. And that was smart marketing, because the kids would go to the concession stand during the break, and we would get whatever we wanted, whatever our parents gave us money to get. And my mom wasn't just a manager there, she was also one of the concession stand workers. And so one of the things I would get that I enjoyed the most was the Cool Ranch Doritos, and I had to have the big cup of the classic cherry soda with all that shaved ice in it, because it had that big bin of the shaved ice underneath the soda fountain. We'd sit around the pool, and I'd eat my classic Cool Ranch Doritos and drink my nice cold cherry soda. Other times, when it wasn't Adult Swim, I would just climb outside the pool, and I was a little skinny kid, and I'm a skinny big kid now. But luckily I weigh a little bit more. So I would just sit there on the edge of the pool. I had to find a sunny spot, because when that air hits you, it's cold. And I would sit there in the sunny spot on the side of the pool, on that nice warm wet concrete, and just eat my chips and drink my drink. And there isn't really much else to say about it. So there is my Cool Ranch Doritos memory from 1992. And I think I'm going to have some of these awesome chips right now. It's amazing how much these chips taste just like I remembered them from the day. You eat Cool Ranch Doritos now, they taste nowhere near as good as they did back then. But anyway, we got to move on to the next item. The last two Magic Doc items are also dedicated to Mom, and they are this plastic bag of buttered popcorn and this overflowing large cherry icy from 1987. Those both came from the Peanut Shack, which was the snack shop of Lenore Mall. The Peanut Shack was located to the right of the big cement circular wishing fountain that was in the middle of the mall. And from that fountain you could go in 4 different directions. So the inside of the mall was like one big cross. And at the south part, where you entered, right there on the left, was the Barrel of Fun arcade, which was the very first place that I remember ever seeing Galaga. I think I remember Mom and I sitting on the bench by the fountain or by the Peanut Shack, sharing paper bags of that buttered popcorn. The bag I have is a plastic bag, so back in 1987, when they sent that to me, they must have been out of the paper bags with the red and the white vertical stripes on them, I think. So I remember it being pretty good, I think. My memories of the popcorn there are vague, but I'm pretty sure I remember having it then. That was a medium-sized bag that I had sent here. And I definitely remember having the cherry icy. And honestly, I liked it, but I thought it was too sweet when I was a little kid. And I was about 5 years old at the time. Now, I like them a lot more. They're one of my favorite things to get at Subway, and pretty much their only real dessert they have other than their cookies. Unfortunately now Lenore Mall is just a big furniture mart, and I think there's a doctor's office or two around there, but that's it. But I'll never forget mainly having that icy.
This popcorn is so good. They definitely don't make it like this anymore. Wow. Mmm. 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 So good. Man. This actually tastes better than what I remember it tasting like. Wow. This is even better than what it tastes like now. Wow. The power of the 80s. That was an awesome little snack break. Now it's time for a brand new, never before seen segment. Ba-ba-bum-bum. It's the 80s or 90s. Ba-ba-bum-bum. Title of the day. Ba-ba-bum-bum-bum-bum. In this segment, we will be exploring the many artifacts or titums from Ty to 80s Guys Great 80s and 90s Museum. And here is the very first one. Arcade Classics 3, Galaga and Galaxian for Game Boy and Super Game Boy. I begged my dad so much for this back in 1995 when we were at Lenore Walmart, and I was so excited when he bought it for me, and it was the first time I'd ever heard of Galaxian before. I took that thing home and I plugged it in the Super Game Boy, and if you don't know what that is, that's where you could put your regular Game Boy cartridges in it and you could play them in color because they were black and white games. Well, monochrome, you know, because that was a green screen on that Game Boy. And you could play them in different color palettes, or some of them would be Super Game Boy Enhanced, and this was a Super Game Boy Enhanced game pack. Oh wow. I mean, I was so excited to play it, but I was so disappointed. There was no Falling Stars background. It was still a lot of fun to play, and I played it for hours. Galaxian wasn't that great of a game. It was actually a lot more difficult than Galaga, and it just didn't have as much variety. I mean, it came out in 1979, so, and the enemies were kind of strange. They sounded like a telephone ring. Here's another look at the front of the box. You've got the Boss Galaga from the arcade machine artwork on the top, firing a missile at me. Oh no! Looks like Jupiter's there with some stars and that orangey and purple sky, and then underneath that you have the Dragonfly enemy from Galaxian, I believe. It's also on the arcade artwork. And then you have what looks like the moon there in the background and some stars in that kind of purpley looking sky. Super Game Boy game pack there on the right. Down there in that left corner it says K to 8, kids to adults. This was before the strict rating system. It says 2 arcade classics from Namco in one game pack, Nintendo. And of course it says Arcade Classics 3 there in the left corner. And there you go. Here's the cool little transparent plastic case that each Game Boy game would come with. And you just snapped it in there, and this is actually what a Game Boy original cartridge looked like. You have the logo, you know, the Galaga Galaxian logo. There's the side of it, the back of it. Yeah. And there you go. And that's all the time we have for this segment. But don't worry, just because I don't go into that much detail this time doesn't mean that I can't revisit this another time. So you will hear more about it in the near future. So with that being said, I have a very special group of guests here to give you an amazing announcement. Hey everybody, I'm Huey Lewis, and we're the news. And we'll have some awesome news for you. But first, we're going to take a look back at something that happened last week. News. And we're here to bring some I'm not great at that like Ty the 80s guy. Well, I meant to say great. I got it. I meant to say
I finally got it. I finally said great. But I meant to say I had great news for you. Unfortunately, we don't have time to sing songs for you today, but you'll hear more from us next time. But we do have that amazing news for you. Okay, I'll quit saying news. Sorry. Oops, I said it again. And that is Ty the 80s guys. Right, 80s and 90s arcade is now open. Sorry I had to cut that Huey Lewis in the News video phone call so short, but we're running short on time. TYME. Big time. Ugh. So, with all that being said, they will be back later on in the episode, but I really wanted to show you this before the end of it. So welcome to Ty the 80s guys, great 80s and 90s arcade. I have been acquiring arcade machines for about 2 years now, and I've really wanted this one, but I wanted to get it in the best condition I could find it. So I got this original 1981 Galaga machine, and it's in the best condition that I've been able to find. It looks almost brand new. So let's take a look at this thing. Wow, isn't that a beautiful machine? Just look at that. You've got the boss Galaga swooping in at you like I was talking about earlier. It's also on the side of the machine there. Give you a nice little close-up view of it there. It's on the same as the other side too. See, it's really swooping in at you. There's some stars above it and the Galaga logo. Of course, you've got that beautiful marquee control panel there with the green joystick, the red fire button, and the two white one-player or two-player buttons there on the right. If you look down in there, you got some cool looking artwork of the different alien creatures, the planets and stars and stuff like that. You've got your coin slots, of course, which we're going to be using here in just a second. Okie dokie, let's drop in a quarter and give it a shot. Alright, I'm going to be trying to top my high score of 842,550 points. So, here goes. Man, I'm doing awesome so far. I ain't hardly even missing anything. Yes! Perfect! Yes, an extra life! Oh man, I'm doing amazing! Yes, yes, yes! Yes, I finally did it! I beat my score! Yes, yes, yes! Oh, yes! Perfect again! Perfect again! Every
time on the challenging stage. I've perfected it. Yes! I've never ever made it this far before. Oh my gosh. This is really hard to dodge these. What? Man, that is one tough stage. Golly. One more ship left. Yes, I did it! I beat this stage. Uh-oh. Wow. I cannot believe I got that far. I'm not really all that upset about losing my last life. Yes, number one, yes, number one, yes! Yes, I beat it! Finally, I beat my high score, and oh, got so far in that game. Yes! Wow, I cannot believe that I scored that high and got that far. Wow, 1,450,280 points. Wow! And to do that in a little over 90 minutes. Oh, wow. That is absolutely amazing! I just can't get over it. Well, I already have Huey Lewis and the News on video phone, and we are going to both say goodbye together. But first, I want to say that this has been a lot of fun. This has been the best episode I've done so far. I just enjoy being able to just give you lots of quality content and no crazy complicated plot line for a change. Yay! So, with all that being said, what's going to be happening next week? Well, all I'm going to tell you is check out my Twitter. Follow me, and you will find out more about it. So, have a great night or day, depending on where you are, and take it, Huey, and the news, and be fantastically chipperific. See y'all next time. Bye.